Okay, trying to start to block this, but let's see, what we have is, the little overspray that's on there, so we're going to block that down and get all nice and smooth. So what's happening is, I'm going to start blocking here, but it's starting to feel gritty. So you can see that it's balling up in the sandpaper, and that's just acting like little ball bearings, letting it roll over, possibly even scratching. So what I'm going to try to do, and hope it works better, is to wet sand it. What we're going to do is we're going to put our 400, because we're doing our primer and we don't want any scratches. This is what the paint's going to be going on to. So we're going to put that on our block. And then what we're going to do, can you see that I'm working with? Yeah, okay. We're going to hold the sponge with water right over it. And we're going to see if that's going to work any better for us. Sure feels better. Yeah, oh yeah. Much better. So I guess that's the way we're going to have to try to do this. Yeah, that feels really nice. My hands are dirty. But that, I think, is probably the way we're going to have to do this, is wet sand it. You can sure feel the difference when it starts to dry out. There's not much water underneath there. Bucket under there a little better. Yeah, I'm just putting that sponge just above it and just barely squeezing it, letting water run out. I don't know if it's going to be necessarily as much of a lubricant as, just a film to allow that dust to get out from underneath. Yeah, but you'll see that is so much better. I think that's how I'm going to have to do this. And wow, it really feels good. Still feel some up here where, I haven't done yet. Let's try that. And again, I'm just keeping this block really, can you see where I'm at there? Yeah, come back a little further. What I'm doing is I'm keeping this block flat as I'm going, okay? Keeping it wet. Yeah. Yeah. That, I think, is working. Yeah, it does feels nice, looks nice. Let me do it here. See. Yeah, that's more what I'm looking for there. I don't know what that is. Must have been a little high spot, but it is perfectly flat now. Okay, so it looks like that's how we're going to have to do this. Do some wet sanding. Okay, now you can see just that little bit with the 400. This area right here, you can see where the primer got thin and the dark underneath is showing through. That's where we're going to have to prime this again. Hopefully not the whole car. Hopefully most of the car will look like this around in here, and we won't have to prime the entire thing. But hey, you know what? If we have to prime the whole car, by God, we will prime the whole car. We've got too much time invested in this to start to cut corners now. Okay, that is where we're at. I guess if I can get the camera in closer, I'll show you exactly what I'm doing and looking for when I'm wet sanding. I've seen so many people do this. You know, you see the blocks and they're in here doing this and you're like, okay, well, how far are you going? What exactly are you doing? And when do you stop? Well, I'm going to try to show you. Here. If you can see this small area here. You can see I've sanded some here, but it still looks like there's little darker dimples in there, kind of like an orange peel. I guess that's why they call it orange peel. And you can see where there are light spaces and dark spaces, kind of like salt and pepper mixed together, just lighter. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to continue to wet sand in that area. Until those light and dark spots are gone. That's going to tell you that it is flat. And I don't think it's going to take a whole hell of a lot to get there, to be honest with you. Because this primer did lay pretty flat. It smoothed out pretty well. There wasn't a lot of overspray. I mean, yeah, I had the floor covered up in the garage and, you know, some stuff up to protect my toolbox and things like that, but not much, if any, you know, overspray. Of course there's some, but not much. So it did, I'm happy with the way the primer performed. I guess that's what I'm trying to say. Now you can see in this area, I hope, I don't know if you can or not, but that area that looked up probably just hazy in the video there doesn't look that way. At least here it doesn't. It may on the video. But that is perfectly flat. Okay, over here you might be able to see it better. Try this one. Okay, you can see this area here. Up in here's nice and flat there, nice and flat in here. But right here you can see it's darker. And that's where those really small bumps are at, like, again, like orange peel. So what we're going to do is we're going to continue wet sanding until those little bitty bumps are gone. Let me see here if I can get a close-up of that for you. Let me get a better light. Maybe that will help. Sorry, I'm kind of walking around here. I do walk with a cane. If you haven't figured that out already. Well, that makes it a lot easier for me to see. I don't know if you can see it any better. But the area I'm talking about is right in here. Okay, we're going to work on that right now. We're going to try to sand that away. Let me put this back in my homemade super duper camera holder. Cell phone, iPhone, super duper stuff. That's another story in its own. Really got screwed by Sprint when we purchased these phones, but that's a story for another day. Yeah. Really got taken advantage of there. Okay, so we're going to try this now. And change up your directions. I think they call it cross hatching. Okay, so we're just going to do like these 3 passes here and see how that looks. Okay? Then I'm going to hobble over real quick and get a clean rag, dry it off. Oh yeah. Okay. Let me grab the camera, phone again. Yep, that's our area now. That's kind of weird. I thought I saw lines in the phone there. But again, the area, I'll wet it around it, is right there. Gosh, I hope you can see that, because I can. It looks a lot nicer there. Yeah, all of that is gone. Every bit of that orange peel is gone, and it didn't take much at all. You saw 3 passes. It was gone. So that's what we're going to do for the whole car. Sorry, I got like a little cold or something. But, hey, that's what I think happens, needs to be done when you see people blocking and sanding. I really would like to be able to do this dry. So it looks like I get to make a mess here. I did go over last night on those little pinholes I was telling you about, and that little crack. What I did is sanded, sorry, I sanded deep, you know, through the primer and everything, and I'm using spot putty to go over that and fill it. You don't, well, I don't think you just want to try to fill those cracks with primer. I'm sure you could, you know, just keep building it up and sand it off until it's filled and level with the surrounding area, but I don't know if that would crack again or not. Like I say, I don't do this for a living. But that is what we're going to be working on today after I go to the vet and get some pain meds for my dog. He's hurt and he had a little minor surgery yesterday. Okay, well that's where we're at. Later.